some powdery snow has come to stay, and I'm so happy about it. I've already made 3 snow angels and stood barefoot in it every single morning, simply because I know it's not here to stay. Apparently, this has been the longest that snow has stayed here in the north of France, and I like to joke that it's because of my ice goddess presence. Between you and me, it's no joke. I've been communing with the moon that some small glaciers visit while I'm here, because it's been 3 years since I've woken up to snowfalls, white skies, and hot chocolate. The winter season has my heart, and I am definitely not meant to be in warm or worse, hot climates for too long. Bambino has finally experienced powder snow for the first time. Well, not exactly. Her first time was in the Pyrenees Mountains, but it was a bit of a struggle for her because it was very slippery after some wet snow had fallen. She has never experienced snowfall or snow whatsoever, and you could see it when she went in the backyard to pee. Instead of crossing the terrace with happy wiggle-butt self, she was way more apprehensive and cautious, as if the snow might take her out at any moment. Each time she went, I would tell myself to be patient and not try to force her to experience it, but rather to go at her own pace. Eventually, she understood, especially when we went to a little pasture here behind our house. This field is usually used for cows, so it was my first time there in 4 years too. She was wild and bouncy and curious about the snow. Her energy transfers to me quickly, and so my filming is probably trash, but all I know is that I had a wonderful time with her. Since the holidays have wound down, I've been getting back to my fashion designs. I've drawn 100 different designs, but I've neglected to add color. This is mostly because some days I was flooded with ideas that usually kept me up from 3 a.m. This is a recurring creative mind problem. So I was hitting the sketchbook pages with fine black ink and nothing more. knowing my designs need color in order to be shown and understood by my niche audience, I've been cracking down on color palettes, lights and shadows, all just so my designs can be officially marked complete. At the same time, I still receive ideas to be drawn, but instead of drawing them directly, I write 3 descriptive words that capture my vision of the item to be drawn later. It's a new creative challenge that I started for myself, and I kinda like it. I'm not gonna lie though, it certainly gives me a bit of anxiety, both good and bad. Bad because I'm a do it now kind of person, but good because I'm excited to be able to draw it officially. A bit of frustrating news is that my materials will not arrive this week as planned, since the persons that I ordered from had a back order and delays all throughout the holidays. The good news is, I'm going to be getting some of the newest stock once it eventually arrives. The other frustrating thing is that my tale has gone through some hiccups, and the designer may have to apply a 2 to 3 week delay to it. On the inside, I want to be like, why? But in reality, I know what it's like to be the creator and how life just happens sometimes. Mistakes are made, plans change, and sometimes disasters of all kinds can interfere. So I'm not even mad. I'm just still anxious to receive it. No matter what, as long as I get it before spring, I will be content. Today, I got my 3rd rejection for a short performing opportunity. I'm glad that I've decided to collect my rejections. They remind me that they are not for me, nor are they the best fit. They remind me that something greater than I've ever imagined is coming up, and that, like winter, I need to be well rested in my heart and headspace before to jump into an opportunity. I was watching a video here on YouTube, and the conversation was about our limits and abilities, strengths and weaknesses, specifically related to Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. and Monsters University. If you haven't seen both, I will try not to spoil it for you, but all that's relative is that Mike wanted to be a scarer so badly. He tied his entire worth and outlook on life to this mission. Later on, we learn that Mike isn't so scary. But for some reason, that was viewed as his weakness. I mean, he's adorable and cute from the sight of him, and Mike is actually hilarious. And when he realized this strength of his changed their world for the better. It gets me thinking that what we often pursue in life is not likely where we'll end up. In fact, what I find most often is that what we dream up as children is where we end up, but not without battling our inner demons, thoughts, and beliefs as to how one gets there and lives well, too. As a kid, I wanted to be so many things, but not all at the same time. Some of these aspirations have been accomplished while others are still waiting to be pursued. The funny thing is, I'm already not at all where I'd expected I'd be, but oddly, I'm okay with it. I'm not so focused on tying my self-worth to what I do, but rather, if the thing I do is worth my time, energy, and state of mind. I want to enjoy what I do. And I know the enjoyment may not be in all aspects of the activity, but it should be the thing that keeps me going. There are many things that I'm doing at once currently. Most of it is thanks to my disability and having to take leave from what others call a profession, just to make income somehow. Still, my happiness is certainly not tied to this, even if I love doing it. Happiness in itself is fleeting. It's just an emotion that comes and goes like the rest of them. Plus, it's not really about if I love what I do, but if it makes me feel good about myself in some way. Like a new outfit, it ought to make me feel confident and comfortable. It's for this reason that I rather just enjoy the ride of what I'm doing in the present. It all has its place in my life somehow, in some way. It's just hard to see sometimes when I'm on the path. But I know I will reach wherever I'm supposed to reach. It's not always the top of the mountain. Sometimes it's a glowing cave or a vine jungle, or even a hidden spot that no one else knows about yet. Whatever place I need will come to me, and when it finds me, oh, I will bask in it for as long as I'm able. As many of you know, I have so many plans for this spring with my creative projects, and none of them involve dependence on a third party. I feel like this is very important because if we tie our capabilities to whether or not someone saw us as a perfect fit for their projects, that can really reduce our self-worth to nothing but an entertaining display. In reality, we are so much more than anyone else can ever declare. If I'm not what they envision, that's okay. Their vision may be a bit narrow, making it harder for them to see their grander surroundings. Therefore, I cannot simply stop working and wallow in the sorrow of rejections. I'm still here, and my life still goes on, and my projects, they're just waiting for their moment in the spotlight. Here we go. I am recording this on a very low battery. This is extremely risky business, but one way or another, I'm going to record this and post it as soon as I can tonight. But I wanted to get through all of the little updates for this week. One, I got my third rejection. Yay! I kind of had a feeling during the interview that this was not going to be a place that I wanted to go. I don't know what it was about the interview and getting to know everybody. First of all, I feel like interviews are not just about whether or not I'm a good candidate for the role or for the people. Like, I already know I'm a good candidate. And it sounds like egotistic, but I feel like I know if I'm a good fit for a role simply if I feel like I fit all of the requirements that they want. So I already knew I was a good fit for the role and that the role itself would be awesome. But when I got to know the people who were doing the interview, I felt kind of off. You know, like when you walk into a room and it's not like everyone was talking about you or anything, but you get this kind of vibe. This is the vibe I got, and it was like, okay. And usually during an interview, I ask the people who are giving the interview why they work at this place, what they like about this job, etc., so on and so forth, because I really want to get to know the people that I will be working with. During this interview, I did not ask those questions, and it's not because they didn't come to me. It was just, I felt like I entered a room with a really strange energy and I wanted to get out. So it was like kind of a blessing. I don't know. I'm sure these are really nice people. Maybe they were just very tired in the afternoon. I don't know, but I just felt like, like they weren't quite excited to interview me, which kind of gave me a feeling like they may have already made their decisions before doing my interview. I don't know. I can't really make the assumption, but what I do know is it didn't really hurt to get the rejection. It was just like oh, well, I could cry about this for the next 5 hours, or I could use those next 5 hours to work on my business, because it's really no offense to anybody who gives these short, temporary gigs to people like me, but it's short and temporary. My business, on the other hand, I plan to make this long term and as permanent as possible. So I found it kind of a blessing because I can actually spend my time doing what I really need to do, especially because of the plans that I have for myself this year and the programs that I plan to run for this summer. And there's a lot. So I found it like, I guess it's not so much of a bad thing. I can refocus on myself and refocus on building what I already have and making it even better than what I planned. So I don't know how I feel entirely, except that the thought that's come to me is I don't care. I don't care. Because, number two, I have finally played out in the snow like a wild child. I will show that video next week because the recording is 20 minutes long and I need to make some space on my computer. It could not fit in this video this week. But it don't matter. I played with some of the kids around here and it was really a lot of fun to play in the very minimal amount of snow. If you're Canadian, you know this amount of snow isn't snow. It's like snow you make footprints in. It's not snow you play in. But it's not often that it happens here in the north of France, so I took advantage and I will try to take advantage again tomorrow, but we're supposed to get some rain and then it's supposed to be like 10 degrees in a week from now, so it's not going to stick. It's not going to stick at all. So I had a lot of fun and I took advantage as much as I could. Last but not least, I have been moving quite a lot, my body physically, and I've gotten stronger, especially in my lungs. I improved my breath hold and I was extremely proud of myself. Like I went from a 10 to 15-second breath hold and it was painful, very, very painful for me to hold my breath since my accident, like especially in the few months after my accident. It was so painful. It was even painful to like sing. Running was not even a thing I was gonna do. I was doing like I wasn't exercising or anything, but singing was also really hard. Which it's kind of breath holding, but instead of holding the breath and dealing with the carbon dioxide on the inside, you hold the breath and you're letting out carbon dioxide extremely slowly while singing, and both ways it was painful. The actual physical expansion of my lungs was very painful, and so now I've gotten to a point where I've held my breath for a minute 30 or a minute 48, I think it was exactly. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, even while I was holding it, I said, I'm just going to hold my breath and distract myself with something else. And when I realized how long, or when I realized I wasn't really paying attention to my breath, I was like, wait, I'm still holding my breath. And that's when I took a breath. So honestly, if I kept distracting myself, maybe I could have made it past or over 2 minutes, and that would have been pretty awesome. But no matter, it was very like very shocking to me that it worked. And man, it feels good. It really feels good. So anyhow, before my camera shuts off, I'm at 1%. I wanted to wish you guys wonder and room to be yourself from this side of the world. Adios.